Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slickmoth and I'm back again with another video, and in this one I want to talk about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which is going to be dropped tomorrow, which is May 2nd, and I want to talk about this game and explain why it's not going to be very good. And I did this for Call of Duty Ghosts, and when I made that video for Call of Duty Ghosts, I believe the video was titled Why Call of Duty Ghosts Will Suck No Matter What, and I did this, I believe, in May, maybe a little later than that, I don't really remember. So I made this video and it got a lot of attention and a lot of dislikes. A lot of people were bashing me, talking about how no way it was going to be amazing, because what they do with Activision, what they do every CoD year, and as somebody that's been following the series and a huge fan of the series since Call of Duty 2, I can kind of tell you what Activision does. They have a big thing that gets you hyped for it. This one big drawing point. So, for example, what they did with Advanced Warfare, what they did was, this is our first game on a 3-year dev cycle. Oh, they had 3 years to make this one. And then you get into this game, they're doing the same sort of thing. But the problem is, and this goes along with my thesis of why Call of Duty Ghosts would be awful, which it indeed turned out to be. And by the way, as a big Call of Duty fan, I have over 60 days played on the game. That doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's a good game. Just because I liked it doesn't mean it's a good, because it's not. So with that being said, just because I don't think this game's going to be good doesn't mean I'm not going to play it a lot or enjoy it. It just means it's not a good game. And the reason it is not is for the same reasons that Call of Duty Ghosts was a very bad game. And that is, Infinity Ward is a broken dev studio. It is absolutely in shambles. And it has been since Modern Warfare 3, where they had to bring in Sledgehammer just to finish Modern Warfare 3. But in my video explaining why Call of Duty Ghosts will suck, which it indeed did, I explained how the studio was in shambles, and now we have the same exact situation. In fact, the problems are much worse now than they were, which accounts for the fact that they have 3 years instead of 2, but even then, the problems are just ridiculous that this studio has faced. First of all, Mark Rubin, the studio head, quit or got fired. We don't really know, probably got fired. So he left, and then they hired the old guy that worked on CoD 4 from Respawn Entertainment that made Titanfall. They brought him back, and again, that's another one of the big things they had, like, oh, we're bringing back the CoD 4 guy to work on this next Infinity Ward game. Oh, everybody get excited. That's the big selling point, much like the 3-year dev cycle was the big selling point for Advanced Warfare. That guy quit after 4 months. He literally bailed after 4 months. If that does not tell you what kind of shambles are going on in Infinity Ward, nothing more does. I mean, he got promoted from a regular game dev at Respawn to the game director at the largest, for the biggest AAA game studio in the world, developing the biggest game franchise in the history of video games. And he quit. He quit after 4 months. Like, that just tells you it all. So then they fired that guy, and then they literally hired this guy named Brian Horton, who worked on Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I've seen him on Twitter a little bit. I mean, I'm sure he's great at what he does, but still, as I said, this is the biggest game franchise in video game history. I think it's kind of, just hiring some dude from Rise of the Tomb Raider is just weird to me. Never done any FPS work as far as I'm aware. So this video is really not all that complicated. The reason that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare will suck is for the same reasons that Call of Duty Ghosts will suck. And again, I'm not saying you won't enjoy it. I'm just saying it's not going to be a good game, much in the same way that Call of Duty Ghosts wasn't a good game. I still have over 60 days played in it and thoroughly enjoyed it. And the reason that is because Infinity Ward is a broken dev studio. This entire game development process in the last 3 years, I assure you, has been an absolute disaster. Heads coming in and out, directing, and different art managers coming in and out. If you just look at the influx of people, majority of the people working on this game have never worked on a Call of Duty game before. So it's not like you have this veteran talent, like the guys that made CoD 4, MW2, and they're just like, oh, just a natural, raw talent that made these astounding games in the past. No, these guys are all fresh out of college. They're getting hired for 120 grand, 120K a year, just trying to pay them as low as possible. These guys don't know how to make CoD games. I mean, this isn't even the same studio. It's honestly slanderous to say that Infinity Ward made Call of Duty Ghosts, or that Infinity Ward made Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And sure, it's the same studio, but the staff is all different. It's almost nefarious for Treyarch or Activision, to put their brand on the game, because it's not the same studio that we know and loved past tense. So anyway, that's the video for today. If you want to go check out my video about why Call of Duty Ghosts will suck, I explain everything here. It's the same situation. Infinity Ward is a broken dev studio. The development process for the game has been and continues to be a disaster, and that's going to show in the game. If you don't have structure in the game development process, it ends in shambles. And again, as a fan that has followed the series from CoD 2, I can see things and got to pick up on things that red flags, shall we say, in this game is a massive red flag. Okay, hope you guys have enjoyed. My name is Slickmoth, and we'll see you in the next one.